guys, this is our trip to Mammoth and Yosemite. It's about a 5-hour drive to Mammoth. Here's Phoenix playing his Switch in the background. When we got to Mammoth, we decided to hit some hot springs. This time around, we didn't have to hike through any snow. We could drive right up. Interesting enough, we saw some cow. In fact, the cow were right next to the hot springs. Phoenix loved it, of course. Yep, here he is, posing with one of these bovine. This is the crab cooker. Unfortunately, the crab cooker was not cooking. It was pretty cold. Don't know why. So we went to this one, which is called Rock Tub. It was alright. Still wasn't 100% warm, but it was good enough to be in. We met an old guy that was there with us. Here you can see him in his robe, ride his motorcycle back to his RV. Pretty funny. There's the pipe that plumbs into the spring. I'm sorry, plumbs from the spring into the tub. Phoenix pretty much treated them like pools, so he's splashing around, which could be annoying if there's more people there. Here we are at the hotel, or Motel 6. It was a garbage dump. He's watching Bolt for the first time. I had forgot his PJs, as well as my socks, so he had to sleep with no shirt on last night. In the gondola on the way to the top of the mountain. We really had no idea what to expect. Of course, it's bone dry at this point, right here. That sign's usually almost completely covered when it's peak season. Here's one of the this is the main runway, I guess you could call it, main trail to go down the mountain. That drops off pretty steep right there at the edge.
Hey, you.
What?
You ready to go down?
Yeah.
Snow's pretty soft, kind of mashed potato-y, but it actually helped. Phoenix is going to try toe side. He doesn't really do toe side on this steep of an incline, but it's soft enough he wasn't scared.
Don't go down that thing.
Because the snow gets kind of mashed potato-y and sticky, you need the spots that are kind of flat. He's got to really go fast over in order to get through. Otherwise, he'll kind of stop and stick. And then I got to take my binding off and walk his board, basically. It wasn't terrible though, the snow. I mean, I kind of regret not going more often. Between the last time we went snowboarding, which I think was in April, so we kind of missed a couple months there. That would have been prime for Mammoth. He really does need to work on practicing his heel side, toe side more often. I don't think I have video of it, but we had a pretty gnarly crash. He slipped on that ice. If you look to the right side of the screen where it's not been plowed, I guess, whatever it's called. Groomed, there we go. You look where it hasn't been groomed. It's icy, and he slipped, and I literally slipped right after him and smashed into him. He was pretty shaken up, and that was my fault. I shouldn't have been so close to him. Here we are going up another lift. Oh, this is funny. So this is when Phoenix was like, "Hey, Dad, let's get some hot chocolate and find a place to relax." Of course, I couldn't find hot chocolate because everything's closed right now. So we had to go inside one of the hotels at the base of the mountain. There we are at McCoy Station, which is halfway up the mountain, but it's closed, so he could sit at the bar. Again, here's that trail. It's pretty steep off the side of that thing, so you gotta make sure you stay on there, not fall off. The Mammoth at McCoy. He wanted to take a photo there. He specifically asked me for that. And this was the last run. Listen to him. He was upset.
I fell down hard.
He had fallen pretty hard because he was going super fast. So at the end of the day, or sorry, at the end of the snowboarding, we went to the base of the mountain. They had this really cool thing called it's like a venture pass or something, but it was $49. And the kids got to do all these cool things, obstacle course and zip lining and stuff. So it worked out perfect because I was like, what are we going to do for another 6 to 8 hours? And 'cause I think it's only like 11 a.m. at this point. So here he is all strapped in, ready to do the obstacle course. And I think, luckily because he's so familiar with the harness that we use for rock climbing, that he's really comfortable right now. So they gotta take that like red hook kind of thing, and it slides from one metal cable to the next. It never disconnects. So there's never a point where they're in danger. So you can see it's got that gap that slides over that metal piece, and then they can keep connected essentially all the way through the very end. Seems like he's pretty excited though. I was really stoked, and $59 or $49 isn't cheap, but I mean it was worth it to see how excited he was, and I got some great photos of him. Kind of wish they had an adult version of this. These logs were one of the hardest parts of it because you kind of had to be tall.
The hardest part about these things are their shape. Is that their shape.
Love this photo. I like the American flag in the background. His smile. This is a great photo. That's the slopes right there in the background. You can see there's still snow patches left on it. I mean, we're in the middle of July still. It's pretty crazy how much snow's on that mountain. That kid behind him was the same age as him, and he really loved kind of doing this course with him. He kind of acted like a leader the whole time because he was in front. This is funny, this next clip. Look, if you look at the guy below that's playing, pulled him, and he fell. Yeah. It's alright, he's strapped in, so it's safe. But it was kind of funny because he did fall. And look at him now, he's got his legs up in the air like a maniac. He's so light, that guy could pull him up like that. That's crazy.
What are you doing?
This part of Mammoth right here, this front, he's out. That Mammoth's out during the snow season, but everything else is covered in snow, so it was so unfamiliar when I was walking around. There he is getting strapped in for this bungee trampoline thing where he can do flips. He's done it before when he was 5 for my 30th birthday in Arizona, so he kind of knew what he was doing. He tired himself out though. He had a pretty big day, and he almost fell asleep in my arms by the campfire that night. Here he's getting strapped in for the zip line. I don't think he's ever zip lined before. But he had no fear. Look at him. Again, like a maniac. My phone was all right there. You can see it kind of tweaks out. But I had him do it twice so I could take photos the second time. I don't think he was too bothered by that. We got some lunch at this little German place called the Yodeler. They had this beer called Anderson Valley Brewing Solstice Summer something, but it had cream flavor to it. It was pretty good. Found a pretzel and a hot dog. Hot dog was red, which he wasn't a big fan of. He's, you know how he gets. If it's not what he's used to, he kind of freaks out. Now we got some rock climbing, which he's done before, so this was fun, except he's never done the auto belay, which is a little more difficult because if you want to rest, you can't just lay back, like lean into your harness, because you'll just fall down. So it was new for him. Right here on the backside, they will actually belay you, but here on this auto belay right here, what he's doing, when you fall and jump, you actually just go all the way to the ground, like slowly, so you can't rest ever really. Unless you just find like a hold, like a big hold to rest on. It's a little more challenging. So apparently he's a Connect 4 champ at school. I don't know, that's what he says. But we found a Connect 4 board, a big one, and so we played it. Probably like 4 or 5 games. Of course he beat me. They had this mining activity. You buy this bag for $9. It's like a bag of dirt. And you run it through this, you pan it, I guess is what it was called, but essentially removes all the dirt, and then you find all the gems, and they gave you a key kind of card that shows you how to identify what each gem is. He got one called, I think it's called Soda Bright or something like that. It's a blue gem, so he got it and he was super excited. Okay, so that was the end of the adventure at Mammoth, and now we're on our way to June Lake to find a camping spot. Wasn't really impressed with any of those camping spots, so we ended up going north towards Yosemite. I'd never been on Tioga Road, so I was like, or Tioga Pass. We found a campsite before you actually got in the park. That's what that picture is. So that was like kind of a secondary option, but I really wanted to get into the park. I was hoping they might have some open spots, which sure enough they had plenty. Here it is right here, our camping spot. There's a lot of campers in there, but to be honest with you, it was pretty quiet and pretty mellow. So here's the interesting part. Phoenix had to use the restroom. However, I had already started the campfire. So the dilemma was I had to put the campfire out to take him to the restroom because I can't just leave a campfire unattended. So I kind of had to waste all my kindling when I got the fire started and then put it out and then start it over again. Here was our dinner. I had the SpaghettiOs, he had the mac and cheese. I brought 0 stuff on this trip. No utensils, no food. So I kind of had to scrounge at the general store for what I could get as for dinner. There you can see my SpaghettiOs just cooking over the fire right in the can. Venus was excited about that popcorn. We ended up cooking the popcorn, got half the kernels cooked. Some of it were burnt, but it tasted pretty good. Here Phoenix is passed out in the tent. He said he slept pretty good. I only woke up once in the middle of the night. It was pretty warm. I took the rain fly off, so when he woke up, he was surprised. Just getting some cool establishing shots of the tent and the campground. It was quiet at night. I didn't hear nothing. No campers, nothing. Here's the post office. So this is where all the PCT hikers, John Muir hikers get their food cache, I guess. And there's a little grill, and then there's a general store. And you can see that it's a tent. So I don't know if they tear that down during wintertime, so because of all the snow. Of course, you see Phoenix with his pancakes and the hikers in the background. That food was good. It was super good. Here's the trailhead to Lembert Dome. That's what we decided to do the next morning, or I decided. It's in the Dog Lake parking area, and of course Phoenix saw Dog Lake, so he was like, oh, I want to do that, I want to do that. But it's a little bit farther of a hike, and I thought that the Lembert Dome would be a little more fun than just hiking to a lake. Phoenix was kind of huffing and puffing on the way up, so I made him a deal. I said I'd buy him a video game if he didn't complain while we were going up there. Here are some of the signage you can see. It's pretty crazy. It was like a 900-foot elevation change over like a mile. So, of course, his Doritos. You had to take a break so you could eat some of those. I had to monitor that, otherwise I'd eat that whole bag in one sitting. We would make sure to stop and look at wildlife. So here we are at the base of the dome, which really got him excited because now he gets to kind of climb, and it was pretty fun. It wasn't too dangerous either. Like, if you just stayed on the big parts, even though it was steep, really wasn't much danger. You know, if you went to the sides and messed around and weren't paying attention, yeah, that could become dangerous. But overall, it was a pretty. You could take much younger kids on this dome and not be too scared. Because even if you slipped, you're not gonna slide down that far. Maybe, 10, 15 feet at the most. So I'd never been to the east side of Yosemite Valley, or not Yosemite Valley, Yosemite Park. So this is all new to me. The view, everything, the roads, trails, none of it I was familiar with. So we stopped by the visitor center and spoke with some rangers about what to go do, where to go, and they gave us a piece of paper with kind of like different options. It was a really fun photo. Clouds. We got lucky because it was kind of like overcast, like cloudy, but we missed the rain and thunder. That is the only dangerous thing about the domes, is any chance of thunder, and you don't want to be up there because you're fully exposed. Or sorry, I should say lightning. Here we are at the top. Got chip in his mouth, enjoying the view. Kind of want to trick people with his feet hanging over like that, make it seem like he's on the edge, but there was a big ledge underneath him, so had he had even fallen, he would have been totally safe. There's the river, and there was a hike that we were going to do towards the river too, a place called Soda Springs, but I decided that I want to come back with Kayla and my family. And so I thought that'd be more something we could explore next time, because it's this very easy hike, very easy walk to that river from off the road. Here I am kind of getting more video. I had no intention of making a video after of this trip, and I've been kind of trying to figure out how to make these YouTube videos. I think that this is kind of maybe the way I should do it, is just get lots of footage, even if they're mixed in with photos, even though this was a majority of photos this time. But maybe next time I'll do a lot of B-roll, like get some video footage, and then put it together chronologically that makes sense in telling a story, and then I can narrate it. And maybe I'll narrate it with Phoenix or Kayla, whoever. So I think I'm going to go back and do our old trips that we took, Zion and to Rome and Florence and Venice, and old camping trips. And I think I'm going to try to make little montages with the video and photos that I have, and make just like little kind of journal entries, I guess you could say. Oh, he found a tree with a butt. He thought it was hilarious, so I think he's got, in the next clip, he's spanking it. Yeah, he's spanking the butt. Look at him ready. Sniper hits him right. Boom. He slipped and fell. Yeah, he's gotta learn when he's hiking downhill how to place his feet and where to put his weight. But this pretty much wraps up our trip. We get back to the car and then we get settled and we leave the park, and it's about another 6-hour drive home from here.